Good day to you, friend. I know you've been looking forward to this tutorial on this lover's knot chain link for bracelets, necklaces, and earrings. And to get that done today, this one's going to be very different. I'm going to try to do it in one cut with minimal editing. There you go. To bring this to you because I made a promise and I've got to get this done before my husband gets back with the dog from the vet. So I think I was living in a multiverse for a day or two because I had two total timelines going on in my mind for this Tuesday that, yes, I'm going to be making a video for this lovely lover's knot chain link. And somehow I was going to the vet and to a whole nother state. So it wasn't until yesterday evening that I realized that I had two total timelines crammed into one day, but I made a promise. I want to bring this to you. I know several of you were looking forward to this, and we're going to do this. So while I'm talking, I don't have anything prepped. We're going to get right into this. I'm going to try to do it uncut in one take, so you get just a raw day with me, a raw tutorial with me. Going through just a basic setup, I'm going to use 18 gauge for this chain link. I probably wouldn't go any less. You could try 20 gauge. 16 gauge has its own look. Let me grab what that one looks like. 16 gauge, you got to do a little something different. You got to use a bigger, a few more inches. Not a few more inches, a little bit more inches, but that is possible. But 18 gauge, I tried different gauges, and the 18 gauge worked the best for this. The way it is, it's got some little bit of chunk and some bulk to it, but it's still very slinky. Lovely, lovely design. So while I'm talking to you, I don't have anything pre-cut. Each one of these links is going to need 2 lengths of 3 inches of the gauge of your choice. I would say 18 gauge is the best. So while we're talking, while I'm just asking you how your day is going, I am going to cut these pieces, at least several, so I can show you a couple different times how to do this link, because I wanted to show it in a way that was easy to understand and also a way that you would be successful from the very beginning. So many times, and I know you've run into this, you'll try to follow along on a tutorial and you have no idea why the video's example turned out and yours didn't. And I really wanted you to be successful on this. So I worked on it, and I really believe I found out a way that you could be successful with it from almost the very first, if not the second or third times of getting it ready. What do I have here? Let's do one more, because each one of these links takes 2 lengths of 3 inches. And also, while I've got you here, I have some wonderful subscribers. Deborah, Pamela, Diana, and this special one, I don't know your first name, but your handle is Cambella, and Carolyn. And Carolyn is actually my real name. Carrie is just my nickname that my father loved, Carrie, and my middle name is Virginia, and he wanted to carry me back to old Virginia. So there's a little background on my name. So we're going to get right into this, making our very first link. You're going to take one of your 3 inches of 18 gauge is what I'm using. Using your stepped bail making pliers, you're going to put it right in the middle, and we're going to make a bend around until the ends kind of meet. That's not exactly necessary, but that's what we're going for. We're going to need 2 of these for one link. Back on there. My poor dog. My husband is at the vet with the dog because, it's just some stuff's going on, There's something matter with her butthole, okay? And then later on today, I've got to be in a total different state to see my son he bought a brand new townhouse. So we need to do a walkthrough with that. So, praise the Lord, I'm with you and I'm excited to do this. I'm so glad you're here. If you're interested in these kind of tutorials, I would love if you hit that subscribe button and you could join me for more shenanigans in the future. You could use anything, like maybe if you had something that was this size. I'm looking for something that I can just bend the ends, these rough ends around. And also, I did not flush cut these. It's not necessary right now. I just need to make a gentle bend on the end. Something like that. It could be a little more maybe. This is what, and you'll see why in just a few minutes. So take your other piece, make a gentle bend on the end. And this is where that comes in handy. Take your pieces so they're like this. Oh, my camera's shaking. And the reason why we put those bends in there is because it's going to make it easier for them to slide together into place like this. Now this is, you'll need two chain nose pliers for this. You're going to grab one. I put it on the wrong side. I should have had it on my other side. And it will do that as well sometimes. But you're going to run into that sometimes. If you hold it just the wrong way, they'll come out, but it's no big deal. That's because I didn't have it set up correctly. Take your chain nose pliers and just gently grab, but firmly, and then pull together. And I have had it happen to me a couple times where one of the legs here was getting pulled and the other wasn't, and it got all kaflooey, and really there was no rescuing, except maybe you could take the other one and pull it through or something like that. I think that's a good size. I think that mimics what we've already got going on here. So at this point, I'll take it. Let me move this out of the way because I'm going to do some gentle hammering on this. You see it's kind of wonky looking. You see how it's wonky? And I'm going to use the nylon side of my hammer. I don't want to make flat marks. I just want to flatten it out a little bit. All right. At this point, take your chain nose pliers. And what I seem to do, what makes it work, is bring it in. Just pinch it in right at the edge of the loop that we made. And just give it a little wiggle, and it'll bring the two pieces together, like that. Bring on to the other side, pinch right at the edge of your loop, and it'll just bring them together a little bit. This is what is going to turn into the loops on each end of the link so we can attach them. My youngest daughter just started school. My oldest son just bought a house. It is crazy times. I know that you all are going through that as well, but we're going to get through it. It's going to be just fine. Now, you notice I told you 3 inches, and that's just so we have something to play with. You might be able to work out with less wire, but when you're first learning it, just cut yourself some extra. It's no point in trying to save, a centimeter of wire. What I seem to use is about 1 centimeter to make a loop on the end. So I'm going to trim this off, leaving 1 centimeter. Oh, that one went flying. It's one of those days. Stuff just is flying, I have a feeling I'm going to sleep well tonight. I almost cut it right along the loop. Just trimming these ends to leave 1 centimeter so we can make our loops. All right, I am going back to my handy dandy stepped pliers here, using the smallest one to make little loops on the end so that it will be able to attach to some jump rings or whatever. Really, this is so multi-purpose. You don't have to do just a simple jump ring like I did. You could do some beads, like wrapped bead links. Ooh, that's a really good idea. I might have to make that. with these links that I make today and then show you on my community page this rendition with bead links, wrapped bead links. Ooh, that sounds really good. Okay, so you see how this is splayed out? You're going to run into that. I don't understand how this works, but if you take your chain nose pliers and you just wiggle it back and forth, and then they stay together. What is that? I don't know. So back to the other side, we want to put matching loops in. And wrap it on in. Do the other side. Yes, that was a great idea. Thank you for that wonderful idea to connect it with bead links, to give some color in there. Your favorite stone, your favorite color. It doesn't even have to be single bead. I mean, you could do triple beads. This is a great idea. Thank you so much. So there you have the first link. And of course, you know, there's going to be some little tweakings that you need to do. That's always with these loops, to get them to line up correctly. Let's do it again. Getting your pre-cut a bunch of 3-inch lengths. It just makes it easier. You know what I didn't tell you? I'm using the 5th step on the bail to make this loop. I find that worked the best. You got the loop look, but still had some structure. Sometimes when the loop gets too big, you lose a little structure. Oh, sorry about that. Let's do another one. I'm not too concerned about it being a little wonky. This wire being it's not that big a deal because it's all going to be pulled together. And these loops, when you pull it together, I'll show you when you get there, you can only make it but so little. You've ever heard that thing where you can only fold paper 8 times? This is kind of the same way with that. You can only make it but so little. It will only come in but so much. So, okay, so now we have, next phase is just putting a little bend. Oh my goodness, you would not believe how long I struggled trying to get these ends to go together. And I'm like, I need something to help me get these in. What is the deal here? And then it dawned on me. It just needs a little scoop in there to then go together. And this is where you can get your chain nose pliers, grab the ends firmly, gently, and then pull it. And this is where I say you can only get it but so little, because the wire just doesn't want to bend but so. You can try to get as little as you want it, but it seems like it only comes out to be around a 1/2 inch, not including the loops on the end, of course. I'm going to just tap it out a little bit to flatten it so it lays flat on the bench block with nylon plier. Take chain nose pliers, pinch right at the edge of the loop, and it makes them come together. All right. Pinch right at the edge. And then we're going to do that little wiggle at the end after we make the loops anyway, so it'll come together. I am leaving a centimeter to make loops with. Saving my pieces. I like to recycle my pieces, melt them down. Still haven't made anything. Got these big clumps of silver that I melted down. I have no idea now what to do with. I'll do something with them at some point, but like I've been explaining, life's a little crazy at the moment. But when is it not? Doing some jewelry. I'm telling you what, it is so relaxing. And it's wonderful having here. I hope making jewelry is relaxing for you. A little getaway. Taking the smallest step on the bail pliers, and rolling in. It's quiet right now. My husband's at the vet. My daughter's sleeping. My middle son is a full-time certified welder. He's at work. He left at 4 in the morning. My other son is going to be meeting us at his house. So it's nice and quiet. Taking chain nose pliers. And I don't know how that works, but it does. If you just pinch them, you have to wiggle. You have to wiggle too, and then it will come together. I'm not sure why it works, but it does. I struggled with that so much in previous pieces. I'm like, what do I do to make this come together? Carrie, this needs more work. It's not even pinched together. There we go. See, these are all the wonderful little parts I cut out that you don't get to see. But you're going to see them today. It's good to have raw moments when you can be honest with each other and show what's really going on in your life. And I appreciate that in other videos. So I hope you're not too put off by my being silly. I'm really a silly person. Back with the bail pliers. Using the 5th step. We're going to do this link again. How long has it been? My phone says it's been about 16 minutes and I've almost made 3 links. And that even includes cutting the wire. Pinching them, I don't think I pinched this one around. Just need a little bit more. Whatever you can find. I just happen to have this thing. Whatever you can find just to put a gentle bend on the end. This is what's really going to help you get them to go together. Holding like this. One goes down in while the other one goes inside. It goes up like that. You can push in to get it started. Then take your chain nose pliers on either side and gently pull in. There will be a little wiggle. It'll want to come out. That's why, another reason why, where's my hammer? We take the nylon hammer and just gently tap it out so it lays flat and kind of goes together. I need to pull that out again. I made it, or maybe not. Let me know if you've got kids that are back in school or if you're getting ready to be an empty nester or something like that. Us mamas got to stick together. I have my oldest son is 23, and then my middle son is almost 21, and then my daughter is going to be 18 in January. It is an interesting time of life, I tell you what, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. Oh, first, I forgot I need to trim. Now, I have some nicks and things going on, but if you saw in my latest reel, is that a reel you call that? No, shorts. You call those shorts on YouTube. The latest short, I show you using the jewelry tumbler on the bracelet that I made yesterday. And I did do some pre-polishing to remove some deeper nicks, but I'm telling you what, the jewelry tumbler is the way to go. Did I leave that too long? That looks too long, don't you think? Like it looks way too long. Yeah, what in the world was I measuring? making these loops. I really love the look of this. That was so fascinating. I've seen online, it's called a lover's knot. Now, whether or not that's actually correct, I don't know. But that's the one or two examples I saw of it when I fell in love with it. That's what it was called. Really just lovely. I could see it being used for, drop down of of an earring and have something hanging off the bottom. I just loved it. And I was hoping that you would love it too. That's why we're doing this tutorial today. In one of my multiverse timelines, the one where I'm not at the vet or in another state. Tell you what, please tell me in the comments that you have made plans, totally different plans on the same day, and you just assume, yeah, I'm doing this and I'm doing this in two totally different areas. Please tell me that you've done things like that. Just wiggling these together. Sometimes you really got to come out on the end to make it stick. And that should work. I mean, why does it look complicated? But it's really not. Couple pieces of wire, wrapping them together, pulling, bam, done. I think probably in about 7 or 8 steps, 6, 7, 8 steps, you've made this wonderful little link. In this example, you can see that I just used some jump rings. I made these jump rings with a tool that I have. Or you can just buy them. Or what I think I'm going to do, because you had a wonderful idea, is instead of a jump ring, having one of those wrapped beaded links to add some color, add some gemstone, or something sparkly in between this lover's knot chain link. Absolutely lovely. I am so hoping and praying that you got something out of that you enjoyed that. You weren't too totally, wow, this Carrie, she is crazy. I hope that you just get that I'm real and we're all going through stuff, and sitting down to do some jewelry together is very peaceful and calming to my soul. So I'm glad you joined me. I would appreciate if you like and subscribe. And I will definitely see you in the next video.